Praise God, praise God. I don't get an opportunity to say that normally when I'm standing in front of a crowd of people, because typically I'm in the schoolhouse. So I just want to say one more time, praise God. So as he said, my name is Joseph Salley. I'm the principal at Kimberly Elementary School in Southwest Atlanta, part of the Thero cluster. And when I was asked to speak today, I was a little nervous. I don't get asked often to speak in venues outside of speaking in front of either my colleagues at principals meetings or within my school building. So it was a pleasure and an honor to be able to be asked to get up and speak today, specifically because of the pending relationship or the impending relationship that's about to happen with Elizabeth Baptist Church and Kimberly Elementary School. So he talked about me being a turnaround principal. And I chuckle each time I hear that phrase. I use it because it's an accomplishment that I've received based upon the program that I participated in at Harvard and on the success of our school. But there's a lot that goes into that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with our parents that support our kids, the kids themselves and the hard work that they put in, and the teachers and staff that work at the school. And yes, please give all of them a round of applause. I came in at the end of the pastor's sermon this morning, and his message was about changing your thinking. And it was interesting that was the message that I heard as I walked in, because when I think about the work that it takes to turn a school around, that's really mainly what it's about. It's about changing your thinking. It's about creating a sense of urgency within our schools to say that the work that we're doing is so important that we are the ones who have to do it. And we can't allow any kind of negativity, any kind we can't allow anything to get in the way of us doing what we need to do for the kids. So one of the first things that I had to do as that turnaround principal was create that sense of urgency by talking about the data in real words, in real terms, about real numbers of kids. Often we see data projected about schools and it gives you a percentage, but we had to stop looking at percentages and start saying how many of our kids were not being served in our building. How many of our kids were actually being proficient? And was that number of kids sufficient for us to say that we're doing a good job and that we've actually earned that paycheck that we get on the 15th and the 30th? And so for many of us, the answer was no. And so some of those people are no longer in my building.
Right. That's leadership.
So that was the next thing that had to happen. Once I created that sense of urgency, I then had to look around and say, do I have the right people on the bus right now to do this work? And that became a hard task, because when you're the leader of an organization, whether that organization is a school, a church, or any kind of corporation, when you're the person that's going in there to try and ensure you have the right people in there, you're going to have folk coming at you.
Right.
So again, those negative thoughts, you're gonna have to stand up and ensure that you are able to rise above all of that, despite the fact that people are coming at you. And because I'm standing here in a church, I can say, only by the grace of God am I still here after 6 years at Kimberly Elementary School. Because there have been many people who've come at me during the time that I've been at Kimberly Elementary School. But I stand fast, knowing that what I'm doing is going to support the kids at my school and in our Southwest Atlanta community. So coming here today is a plea to all of you and to Elizabeth Baptist Church to say, don't give up on our public schools. Don't give up on your right to be able to attend the school that's right there in your neighborhood. No slight against the charter schools that are trying to open up. But make sure they're really offering you something different.
Yeah.
Make sure that the commitment that you're going to give to that school equals the commitment that you would give to the public school within your community. Because if you're not going to give the same amount of time to that public school in your community, if you're not going to get up and ensure that your kid is ready for school, if you're not going to make sure they have all the supplies that they need, if you're not going to call the teacher back, if you're not going to support the teacher when they call you, then have we really done what we're supposed to do to really say that that school is actually doing the work that it needs to do for our kids.
Right.
I always say that's the only difference between public and private school. In private schools, they can put expectations on you to say that you have to put in so many hours of volunteerism, you have to pay so much, you have to be there, otherwise your kid gets put out. I can't put any kids out of my school. If you live in the Southwest Atlanta zone, if you live in Thero Cluster, you come to Kimberly, irrespective of whether or not your parent comes up there and cusses me out.
Wow. Wow.
At the private school and charter school, they can put them out. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it that's happening differently at those schools? And what is it that we can do? So outside of the academic stuff, and I'm not gonna bore you with a whole bunch of different strategies that we use within our school, what I'm looking for from Elizabeth Baptist Church and the community here is mentorship of the kids in my school. I'm looking for people to come in there and say that we believe in you and we want to support you in the work that you're doing. We want to come over and clean the campus. We want to come over and paint murals. We want to come over and read to kids. We want to come over and help monitor the hallways. We want to come over and help monitor the car running line. We want to be in the cafeteria during lunch where nobody else wants to be, because that's a crazy place to be at a school. But we want somebody to come in there and say, hey, I'll walk around and I'll help make sure that kids stay seated and that they only get up if they have permission to get up, and help monitor some of the things that are going on. Because I'm going to tell you that even if that child's parent can't be in the school, any adult that comes into that school building that's giving some of their time makes every kid benefit.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't understand that or even believe that or know the value of it. I was trying to think about anything else that I wanted to talk about today. I was told I had 10 to 15 minutes. That was scary. Especially for a brother from Chicago who doesn't stand in a pulpit. And my teachers always say that the longer I talk, the worse the conversation gets. But I'm going to say to you today that, because I'm not going to stay up here for 10 minutes, I'm just going to say to you today that I stand here today knowing that to change a school takes all of us. Yeah. It takes changing our thought patterns first, ensuring that we believe in those kids. And we have a motto at Kimberly. That's what I'll end with. We have a motto at Kimberly that says hope in action, belief in action, success in action. Wow. And what that means is our job at our school at Kimberly is to build hope in our kids so that way they can believe that they can do this work, and then they ultimately realize some success. And over the 6 years that I've been at Kimberly, we've gone from a low 40 CCRPI score to a 63 this last year, not knowing what we're going to get this year. And that's with a 60% mobility rate. That means 60% of our kids are different every year. So in order to actually realize success in a school where 60% of the kids are different from year to year, that means there has to be some systemic things that we put in place in our building to ensure that kids are going to get a quality education in every classroom that they go to. And that's what I've been working hard to do. And I ask for your support in doing that. Thank you.
Come on, let's give them another wonderful hand.